Okay, Jack, look, mate, look, we both know you're not very good, don't we? It's just how it is, mate. It's just how it is. But shockingly, apparently Logan is now. So here's what I want you to do this season. No, mate, no, you're not learning and improving race by race. None of that crap. I just want you to get in everybody's way, except Logan, of course. Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Kicking Haas. Today we have the Silverstone Grand Prix. It's actually the British Grand Prix at Silverstone, isn't it? But we're there anyway, and there is a little bit to catch you up on. Now, of course, last race we had another stunning drive from Logan Sargeant all the way back to 4th in Canada. He currently sits 3rd in the Drivers' Championship. Now, he is 40 points back of Verstappen, 49 of Charles Leclerc. But the way he is going, he's in this title race, which I didn't think I'd be saying this season or any season for that matter. Constructors-wise, we just got to try and get 4th if we can. If Crawford chips in here or there with some points, that's fine. We should be okay to get 4th with Sargeant on his current form, though. Now, if we have a quick look at the car, we do have something to add to it. Now, the development time is reset, so we are currently working on side pods and suspension, and I think a rear wing as well, perhaps. I can't remember now. But anyway, what we do have, though, is an underfloor. Now, we saw last time, when we put this underfloor on, it was very, very powerful. So let's see what the upgrade's going to do for us this time. And look at that. Look at the cornering. 2nd, 3rd, 5th. Top speed will go up, as well as dirty air cornering as well. So this could be really, really big upgrade for us in the context of the season. That's the only thing we've done, but we will have more things coming. Now, what is in all likelihood going to happen here is that because the new F1 manager's coming out, what do we want to do here? Adaptability, maybe. We should probably try and get that up a little bit higher for him. This is it. This will be our last season before the new game comes out. So I think what we're going to try and do is we just develop the car to the end of the year. There's no point researching for next year because next year for us is actually not going to quite happen. So yeah, that's what we'll do. What do we want to underfloor? We've already got that. Let's stick it on front wing. So yeah, any ideas that you might have for what we should do next year? I was asking in the Discord earlier on. Next year is in the new version of the game. But yeah, anyway, let me know if you have any thoughts on what we should be and what sort of restrictions we put on ourselves. Now, one thing that we have had to do, you'll notice we're a little bit strapped for cash. We had to, the CFD simulator was looking a little bit run down. Now, we didn't have enough to upgrade it, so we had to just refurbish it, and even that cost 6 million. So that, along with having to emergency manufacture the underfloor so it's ready, has it's been a very, very expensive 2 weeks since I saw you last. But anyway, let's have a look here at what we're doing for the Silverstone Grand Prix. Rain. We haven't had rain for a long, long time. We've got a wet race in Silverstone, which kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Now, for qualifying, we have got red sector 1, blue sector 2, yellow sector 3, sections by speed. Silverstone is just a great racetrack, isn't it? It does have a little bit of everything, as we can see there. Car attributes, as you would suspect, you need a little bit of everything. Time considerations. Now, look at that safety car stop. 8 seconds. That's almost nothing. You almost gain time going through the pits here. So yeah, if there is a late or a safety car at any point, it's almost worth coming in, getting the fresh tyres, and you'll make it back, to be honest. Now, the ideal strategy is medium, hard, medium, which means I probably need to try and save us so we have 2 sets of mediums fresh for the race. So I'll have to have a think about that. Time considerations, you can see the drop-off is not hugely different between the tyres. But the lap time also, we're talking, 0.6 of a second between soft and hard. So the difference just all round is not huge, to be honest. Now, last season we had K-Mag in 3rd, Sargeant in 11th, so let's say we can go a little bit better than that and get points today. And Haas have never won the British Grand Prix. Now, our performance targets here reach Q2. You'd like to think we could do that, get someone in the top 8 and reach Q3 therefore as well. We're not going to go for fastest lap because I don't want us to have to sort of on purposely push for that. 2 cars in the top 10, we're not ever going to do that for 3 races. And qualifying, well, we didn't do it last time. We had both cars out in Canada before we even got to Q3. So let's hope the underfloor makes a big difference for that. All right, off to Silverstone. Alright, so there we go. Confirmation of the weather. Cloudy, clear skies, and then moderate rain. Now, that's the worst kind of rain, because that means it could be intermediates, it could be wets, or it could be anything in between. So, yeah, it's going to be a nice stressful race for me, this one, isn't it? Alright, I'll see you for qualifying. Alright, so free practice is done. Let's have a look and see how we did. Now, FP1, a little bit of a mixed-up session. The top guys all on all on the medium or hard tyres. Sargeant was 11th. Crawford was all the way down there in 20th. But his engine parts we're using in practice are getting a little old at this point. Sargeant 9th in FP2. Again, Crawford down towards the bottom. And then FP3, perhaps worryingly, we were 16th and 19th. We've really struggled to get a setup on Crawford's car. Sargeant is good. I think it's 100% as a matter of fact. But Crawford, I've really struggled yet to get him a setup that he likes. So, yep, that's not ideal. But we'll put in all the new parts for qualifying and we'll get out there. I don't know, to be honest, if Q1's going to be a problem for what's-his-face, Crawford. But if it is, then we'll come back. No, absolutely fine. Crawford 13th, Sargeant in 7th. We only, actually, no, Crawford did do a second run, but it was pointless in the end, really, because he got held up in traffic. But yeah, that is so far so good on the Q2. All right, now we are coming around to start our second run. Now, first run as ever is on used tyres. We currently have both cars in the top 10. Now, Crawford is only just there, but he is there. Sargeant is looking a lot more comfortable up there in 4th. But let's have a look and see. There's a little bit of green behind us, but not that much. The Mercedes and Zoe are going faster, but Crawford, although he's not gone faster in the first sector, is a chance here. Checkered flag is out. Cars will start crossing the line now. Is anybody going to go ahead? The Mercedes are the worry, aren't they? Crawford needs to do a better second sector here. I don't think... Have we ever got him out of Q1 before, into Q3 before? I don't know that we have. He is currently in a little bit of trouble. He is 14th. Sargeant is about to cross the line. He's in front of us on track. He is going to go... Where'd he go? Say 7th. Crawford goes 10th! He's in! So Crawford through. So who's missed out there? The Mercedes must have. Yeah, both Aston Martins have gone out. The Williams... Actually, surprised Williams have got one in as well. So there we go. There we go. So it is 7th and 10th going to Q3. Alright, here we go. 7th and 10th after our first run on used tyres. Now, there is a little bit of a gap between Sargeant and the top 6. Can fresh tyres make that up for him? Well, we're about to find out, aren't we? But let's have a look and see what we can do first sector-wise. Green for Sargeant. Crawford is behind us on track. He has not gone faster. Yeah, I mean, Crawford's done brilliantly to get into 10th, to be honest. So anything he does from here is a bonus. Sargeant, though, can he pull out a lap to move himself up this grid? Checkered flag is out. Stroll and Russell have not gone any quicker, so the worst we're going to do is 7th, and we've done 2 green sectors. Crawford, we don't know what he's done for his second sector, but here we go. Sargeant about to cross the line. Can he move himself in front of anybody? He is staying 7th. Crawford stays 10th. So 7th and 10th, not the worst. We're in the race, aren't we? 26-2. So, yeah, the front few maybe are a little bit up on us. But a couple of tenths a lap is very easily changeable in the race. And I tell you what, Crawford is not far off getting himself up there in 8th and some big points as well. So, let's see what we can do in this race. And, of course, reminder, we're expecting rain. Now, where are we expecting rain? About lap 30. And then going to the end. A bit of a downpour. And then you would think that's potentially... That's going to be wet and then inters, isn't it? Alright, so what do we do here? Alright, now we can get to where we think the rain is going to be if we start on a hard tyre. So we're thinking lap 29-30. A hard tyre will get us there. So we'd be saving ourselves a little bit of time, but not that much given, you know, the pit lane in Silverstone, and that you do cut out pretty much the end of the lap. So I'm wondering if it's worth doing that, or if the extra stop is worth it. Could we do something like that? Because if we're going to go into a wet tyre, then it doesn't matter if we could use soft twice. Alright, let's try it with Logan. You know, you only live once and all that stuff. And then once the rain gets here, it's going to be very much see what we get and, you know, what we can do at that time. But I'm wondering if for Crawford, who is starting 10th, which is it's a good position for him to start, but I wonder if with him, it's just be sensible here. Eliminate the stop. We're expecting it. If it's going to be anything, it's going to be wet, isn't it? And then inters. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. So, let's see what we can do here. I don't say we've got nothing to lose because, you know, we do have a little bit to lose. But we'll use our ERS up nice and early here, expecting the rain. Try and make positions up while we can. And, yeah. That looks a little bit creative, doesn't it? All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, so we'll see how this strategy works with Sargeant. We'll get an idea of what, you know, I always think the problem with splitting a strategy is that you're guaranteeing somebody gets it wrong, which I'm never a massive fan of. Now, if we could get a safety car, especially a well-timed one, then Sargeant's strategy will begin to look like genius. But, yeah, see, now I'm worried. But if they're on a medium, they're not going to get to the rain anyway, right? Because the medium tyre wasn't going to go that far into the race. So, yeah, see, Crawford, Vettel, Giovinazzi, Zoe, and Albon, I imagine, are going for the rain. Everybody else is going to have to stop beforehand, so I will do double soft. I don't know, we've got 2 sets of soft tyres that are brand new, so why not use them, knowing that it's going to rain, and that's going to be your second compound for the race anyway. Can we get a move done here on Mr. Leclerc? Verstappen is leading, so a little bit of return to form for him here, perhaps. Get a move done down the straight here. Looks like we can. And a little check-in on Crawford, who's doing a fairly good job. I think Crawford's race here, he's got to. You can't be beaten by Stroll in a Williams. That's got to be that's got to be the minimum target, doesn't it? But we are leading the hard tyre runners. So if he stays, especially if he stays sort of in a bit of a DRS train with the lead group, and he is already dropping off a little bit. Russell, the Mercedes are slow this year, aren't they? But Russell looks like he is already dropping back a little bit. But if he can stay as close-ish to that lead battle, make a stop less, albeit it is a short stop, then we're going to be looking in a very interesting position for Crawford to score decent points here. But of course, the rain is going to change everything, isn't it? Alright, so the race is very much settling into a sort of a race of 2. There's the top 6, and then there's the Lance Stroll train even. So Crawford is sort of second carriage in that train. So we'll see what he can do. There's a lot of drivers running wide, so a lot of mistakes are being made. But, I mean, that's okay, isn't it? But there's a 5-second gap. I mean, to be honest, I wonder if we could harvest a little bit sitting behind Stroll there. New fastest lap for Sargeant, which is these are good times to get it. But if it is going to rain, obviously there's not going to be many fastest laps set in the rain, is there? So Sargeant on his soft tyres. Oh no, Ocon's just nicked it off him. Was using pretty good use of it anyway. Alright, we are on board with Crawford. We are trying to get this overtake done on the Williams. They're both very quick. We've got Mick Schumacher behind us. But we charged up just enough, and we should be able to get this done. We'll have DRS, I think. Do we know? We were just in front when the DRS detection point came. So that is potentially painful, because we've used up a fairly large whack of our ERS there. Can we get it done this time around? And what I ideally wanted was to be able to get the overtake done and then just go. So let's stick him on deploy, because we want to go, I think. If we can get it done down this back straight, and then, like I say, just try and break the DRS as quickly as possible, that would be nice. I'm half-heartedly trying to get a fastest lap right now with Sargeant, but we know he's coming in to put another set of soft tyres on in a few laps here, so we might just wait for that to happen, I think. But Crawford has just gone up to P7. Now the question is, can he pull away and hold that? Tough ask on hard tyres. Alright, we are coming into the pits with Logan Sargeant. We dropped down to 6th. Nothing to be worried about. I was just trying to do a bit of harvesting while we're in that DRS train for the lead. The reason being, we weren't going to lose that much time, but on a new set of tyres, if we can do a deploy lap, then that could actually bode quite well for us, and look for the undercut. So you can see we are deploying, and well, actually what I should probably do is go for fastest lap and put that to bed, shouldn't I? So let's maybe do that. Let's get this point done and dusted, because what we don't want is for people to come out of the pits, the medium runners who can't be that far away from their stops. They're not going to try and go all the way to the rain, are they, at a medium? They're going to have dead tyres if they do, so maybe we wouldn't be against them doing that, actually. But yeah, we'll try and do a nice deploy lap here, although I suspect we're going to get stuck in this traffic, aren't we? it's going to be very difficult to do
They've run wide.
fastest lap when we're in traffic. So it's not quite working for us right now. This was the issue, of course, with coming in early, is you can end up stuck in traffic at the back. But hopefully we will find a way through, and yeah. I mean, he's done a green sector, so he's not doing that bad. Crawford, by the way, is in 6th now with the pit stop for Sargeant, so he's good. He's going quite well. So this is not working for Logan Sargeant at all. We've got to get these moves done. We're just on a harvest lap right now, but we've gone from being 22 seconds behind the leader to 25, and it's just slowing us up now. If we can get a move done on Leclerc. Leclerc had a spin, which is why he's back here. He has got a move done there, so that's good while we're harvesting as well. Yeah, we've just got to get this done and then go. So we'll try it this lap. We'll go back onto overtake. And yeah, we've got Norris and Magnussen in front of us. So if we can get past them here, then yeah, we can start and make inroads. But like I say, this is just costing us a lot of time, and it's destroying our race to a point. I mean, we had a big gap over 6, so we're unlikely to go any worse than that anyway. But yeah, what I was hoping was going to mean us coming out in the lead has certainly not done that. But there we go. So we have, for right now anyway, got that done. Now we just need to make sure that they're not coming back past us using DRS, but hopefully we can drive away and start to cut this gap down to under 22 seconds, which is roughly what it was when we came into the pits. We're not going to see him come back past here, are we? No, we've got a nice gap there already. All right, on we go, Logan. Come on, this is your race now. All right, multiple cars have crashed. It's neither of us. Oh, wait, Crawford. It is Crawford. He's got a penalty. Oh, Crawford, what have you done? He's locked up. I've missed the replay, though, haven't I? Alright, well, he hasn't got any damage. So why has he got a penalty if he's not got any damage? Anyway, that's an interesting one. Now, he has damaged his tyres, though, which is a little bit silly of you, to be honest, Crawford. Because you've got to get those to the rain, which we don't know exactly when that's going to be. But anyway, Sargeant got his fastest lap back as well. So, yeah, but what happened to Crawford? I completely missed the replay. Alright, we are expecting rain in 4 minutes. I am going to break my own personal rule here, and we're going to push them on because everybody else is trying to get to the rain, and this has not worked for us, unfortunately. So we're going to... yeah, we're going to try and push him on, and because we know that when he gets to the rain, he's going to struggle. So, unfortunately, what I thought was being quite smart, I've actually outsmarted myself, and everybody else is probably protecting their tyres a little bit. It's that through the middle. He's channeled his inner K-Mag, and we will have to look at that overtake again, because Sargeant, that was quite special. But ultimately, yeah, we've taken ourselves out of 6th and deposited ourselves at the back of the field. Look at that, straight through. You're not supposed to do that through maggots and beckets and all that complex there, but wonderful stuff from Logan Sargeant.
Just watch out.
Alright, so the rain has started, wouldn't you know it, just as we go past the pits with both cars, so we'll have to stop next lap. We will take it off of, just don't push now, mate, just... This is where Sargeant really struggles, worse than Crawford will do. And he's got himself back into more or less 8th. I want to wait and just see. So the track has already gone to damp. Are we going to be talking full wets? Or are we going to be talking inters? Hopefully, we've got the lead group here that we took ourselves out of. We'll be able to get an idea of what they go on to. And maybe that can give us some sort of a clue as to what we need to do. So we are going to stop this lap. Let's... With precautionary... Yeah, it's already 2.5. So let's say we're going onto a wet, because it's got to get to 4 realistically. and we're not going to have time to be able to react to what everybody else is doing. But it's going to 3. I'm fairly confident we want to be on wets. Verstappen, they've all gone to inters, which makes me a little bit nervous. But us coming that little bit later, the track is going to go to wet. Now, is it going to go to wet long enough to make this worthwhile, perhaps, is the next question we've got to ask ourselves. But the track is officially wet. As we are going to try and get past some of these guys still on slicks.
Overtake is available if needed.
Copy.
Yeah, we'll stick them both on overtake and just see what we can do here. We've got this Leclerc again. So we've done a pretty good job so far. I'm a little bit concerned if that's the worst of the rain, that it's just going to go back to inters now. So, yeah, I've maybe not made the best decision here, but we'll see what happens. It's still getting wetter for now. Now, I don't think that was supposed to happen, was it? It wasn't supposed to get wetter. But anyway. It's back up into 6th. If the track can stay wet enough for long enough, and this is where we're expecting it to start to go back into inters territory, well, it might work out okay for us. Come on. Let it rain, let it rain, let it rain. It needs to stay wet. Alright, so we're coming back in with Crawford. It's not gonna get back to wet. So we've got Sargeant on full push now. I was really hoping Crawford might bring out a safety car for us to help us get away with this, but yeah, that's not going to be the case. So yeah, I mean, the reason that I did go onto the wets, especially with Sargeant, was that he needs to be on the right tyre for the conditions. We know that. We've learnt that about him before. So yeah, but maybe we just needed to hang him out, and he needed to just get through that first little wet bit before, before we brought him in. But anyway, he's going to come out down the order, and I think we are very much, at this point, just racing for points when we were in the lead group. So, yeah, that's disappointing. Alright, so when everything has shaken out, 13th right now for Sargeant and 18th for Crawford. Yeah, I mean, Sargeant's got fastest lap in the bag. We just need to try and get him back to the points. It might be doable. He's on the right tyre. He's got a decent car under him, so we'll see what he can do. He's about to get past Ricciardo and/or Stroll, it looks like. But, yeah, it's just a bit disappointing. I've been too worried about making sure he's on the right tyre at the right time, and maybe a little bit short-sighted in the fact that it's going to cost us 20 seconds for a couple of laps. He should have just hung it out, and he probably would have come home 6th here, which maybe he still will. Who knows? Alright, well, Sargeant just can't get past Ricciardo and Stroll. We've sat him behind them for a bit and recharged the batteries. He still couldn't get past, so we're just going full out attack now. If he bins it, he bins it. We're doing the same thing with Crawford, to be honest. But yeah, if he bins it, he bins it, because he needs to get back to the points to get his fastest lap point anyway. And yeah, this is just going down. I've had a couple of good races in terms of strategy. Yeah, I just got, what's the word, like blinkered by the fact he had to be on the right tyres at the right time, and yeah, just put him on the wrong tyres, didn't I? So we'll have to chalk this one up to me. And with Verstappen winning, that's not great for the championship, is it? Leclerc's down there in 17th, so that's not terrible for us. But, I mean, he's quicker than these two. He just can't get past them. We're running out of laps. About to start lap 48 for us of 52. So, can he get this done? That might be Stroll out of the way. Can he go and get Denny Rick now? Now, I mean, if we run out of petrol at this point, we run out of petrol. It doesn't really matter, because, I mean, how far are we looking to go up the road here? I mean, he just can't get past the Williams. This is unbelievable. So we're coming around to start the last lap. Verstappen has just walked it. Unfortunately, if we go back to the map here, we can see there's Ocon in 5th. Look at the gap back to 6th. I think that's a very Logan Sargeant sized hole that he should have been in. That's where he should have finished. If I'd done anything like the right thing, then this shouldn't have been a problem. But anyway, Sargeant's going to come home 13th. And it's all been a little bit of a miserable weekend at Silverstone. There we go. And Crawford 18th. Disappointing.
Checkered flag.
So yeah, when it started raining, it was never likely to be our race. But yeah, definitely a strategy stuff up from me. He made 3 stops. So, you know, I'm trying to make him... You can't. You just can't make 2 extra stops and expect him to score points, can you? So yeah, that's my bad. We should have been at a minimum 6th in that race. But there we go. And Crawford dropped down 8 places as well after his best qualifying. So... we'll live and learn on that one. The drivers' standings, Sargeant drops down 1 to 4th, and the gap to Verstappen is now looking a little beefy, isn't it? As a team, well, luckily for us, it was also a bad race for Alfa Romeo, so we are still looking fairly solid in 4th. Not a great way to end Haas week, was it? But we'll be back next time, regular schedule next week, and we'll be back. I think Austria is up next, and yeah, well, it can't go much worse there, even if it does rain, can it? Take care.